right, so have you ever heard this podcast, Beyond the Engine Room?
No, I can't say I have.
Well, it's this really cool story about a British engineer, this guy, Rob Peterson.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it all starts back in 1975 in Cardiff, South Wales.
Shipyards, huh? Not exactly what you think of for like a podcast.
Right, exactly. But it's way more interesting than it sounds, I promise.
Well, I'm intrigued already. What makes it so captivating?
Well, I think it's because it's such an unexpected journey. You know,
Okay, I see.
it's not like some high-flying CEO or a celebrity or anything like that.
Right.
You know, Rob starts out at 16, just out of school, and he's got that same pressure that we all had to figure out, like, what am I going to do with my life?
Oh, yeah, totally. I remember that feeling.
So his dad's pushing engineering, but it's actually his mom who gets him an interview.
Oh, really? How'd she pull that off?
Well, it turns out she's a barmaid,
Hmm.
and one of the pub customers actually works at a shipyard.
Wow, that's some serious resourcefulness.
Right. It's
Right.
amazing how these chance encounters can, like, shape a whole life, you know.
Absolutely. So where does this interview land him?
This place called Commercial Dry Dock Enterprises. And his description of that first visit is incredible.
I bet. It must be a pretty overwhelming place.
Totally. He talks about these towering ships in dry dock, all the metal clanging, the smell of paint and oil in the air.
I can almost smell it now just from your description.
Right. And you can just imagine the 16-year-old kid feeling totally dwarfed by this whole industrial scene.
Yeah, and probably feeling all those experienced workers kind of sizing him up, too.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You can practically hear those gears turning in his head, like, do I really belong here?
But he nails the interview, right?
He does. He gets offered a 4-year apprenticeship as a fitter and turner.
A fitter and turner. Now, what exactly does that entail?
Yeah, I had to look that one up, too. Basically, they're the ones keeping those massive ships running, you know.
Okay, makes sense.
They assemble, install, and maintain all sorts of machinery.
So like the unsung heroes of the shipyard?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But before he can actually start at the shipyard, Rob spends a year at engineering college.
Oh, right. Gotta learn the basics first.
Exactly. Lathes, drilling machines, all that foundational stuff. And you're not going to believe this, but he meets his soon-to-be lifelong friend on the bus ride home.
No way. That's wild.
I know, right? It just goes to
Yeah.
show you sometimes the most important connections happen in the most unexpected places.
Absolutely. So he meets his buddy, starts his apprenticeship. What happens at the shipyard?
So he and his friend end up in a workshop with this great group of guys, and there's this one guy, Eric, who really takes him under his wing.
Ah, the mentor. Every good story needs a mentor.
Exactly. And Eric's guidance goes way beyond just teaching him how to operate a lathe, you know?
Right. It's about more than just the technical skills.
Exactly. He instills in Rob this sense of discipline, attention to detail, and like a real respect for the craft.
That's so important, that passing down of knowledge, that sense of lineage.
Absolutely. But it wasn't all serious business all the time.
Oh, I bet there's some good shipyard humor in there, too.
Oh, yeah. Rob tells this hilarious story about how they used to prank the apprentices.
Oh, no. What did they do?
They'd send them on these wild goose chases for things that didn't even exist, like a long wait or a tin of strip paint.
Oh, that's classic. Gotta love a little rookie hazing.
Right. And you can tell it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
Speaks to that camaraderie they had.
Definitely. That shared experience, the laughter in the face of adversity, it really brings people together.
So the learning continues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rob rotates through other departments, and each one has its own unique challenges and characters.
Sounds like he's getting a well-rounded education in ship repair.
Oh, yeah. He spent some time with the pipe fitters, led by this guy named Charlie, who was apparently quite a character.
Oh, I bet I can already picture him, gruff exterior, heart of gold, probably a million stories.
I know, right? And then there's the outside engineering department,
Yeah.
where things get really gritty.
So he's going from classroom to the real deal.
Exactly. He's working on engine room, machinery, rudders, propellers down at the bottom of the dry dock.
Wow. That's hands-on experience.
For sure. But remember those seagoing maintenance stories that he mentioned?
Oh, yeah, the ones that really sparked his imagination.
Exactly. Those SGM squads traveling the world fixing ships at sea or in foreign dry docks.
Sounds like something out of an adventure novel.
Right. And you can practically hear the longing in his voice when he talks about it.
Yeah.
It's like this call to adventure, you know?
I get that. A desire to experience something beyond the shipyard walls.
And as he finishes his apprenticeship, those stories combined with everything he learned from Eric plant a seed.
A seed for adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This thirst for experiences beyond the engine room. And that's where we'll pause this chapter of Rob's story for now.
Okay, but I'm ready for more already. His journey is just getting started.
Oh, me too. There's a whole world of experience waiting to be explored. We'll be back to dive into it soon. So we've got Rob, all this knowledge and experience under his belt, but he still wants to see the world. What's next?
Well, he knows he's not ready to jump right into seagoing maintenance just yet.
Right.
She spends a few more years at the shipyard, honing his skills, taking on more complex tasks.
So like really building a solid foundation before taking on the challenges of SGM.
Exactly. And all this time, he's still hearing those SGM stories.
Right.
They become more than just adventure tales. They start to paint this picture of a unique camaraderie, like a band of brothers facing the open seas.
That element of teamwork must appeal to him, especially after seeing it at the shipyard.
Oh, absolutely. It's more than just fixing ships. It's about resourcefulness, quick thinking, and trusting the guys beside you.
I can see how that would be a draw for someone like Rob with his adventurous spirit.
It's an irresistible challenge. So how does he finally make the jump from shipyard to ship out at sea?
That's the big question.
Well, it's like fate steps in. Remember Mike, his friend from the bus?
Of course. The one he met at engineering college.
That's the one. Well, Mike joined an SGM squad.
No way. What are the chances?
And you can imagine the stories he brought back.
I'll bet exotic ports, daring repairs in rough seas.
Exactly. The kind of stuff that fueled Rob's dreams even further.
I could just picture them huddled in a pub, Mike recounting his adventures and Rob hanging on every word.
Precisely.
I'm hooked. We've only just scratched the surface.
Exactly. There's so much more to uncover.
I can't wait to hear about the people he met, the cultures he experienced, and how this all shaped him.
It's a reminder that stepping outside our comfort zones, embracing the unknown, can lead to incredible growth.
And for Rob, this is just the beginning.
Absolutely. There's a whole world of experience waiting out there beyond the engine room.
And through it all, you can see this yearning for something more, that adventurous spirit that led him to SGM.
Like he always knew there was a bigger world out there just waiting for him.
And that's what makes this Beyond the Engine Room podcast so fascinating, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It's not just about fixing ships, but about the human side of it all. You know, the drive to push your limits to see what you're really capable of. I'm already dying to hear about these challenges he faces on his missions. You know, the different cultures, the triumphs and the setbacks.
I think we're going to see those shipyard skills really put to the test out there in those unpredictable environments.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if those connections reach across cultural barriers, you know, as he meets people from all walks of life in those far-flung ports.
It's incredible to think about, isn't it?
It really is. How this journey that started in a shipyard in Cardiff leads to all these extraordinary experiences.
It's a testament to following your passions, even if they take you way outside your comfort zone.
And that's what we'll keep exploring as we dive deeper into Beyond the Engine Room in future episodes.
Uncovering the technical side of things, the unpredictable life at sea, the personal growth that comes with navigating uncharted waters.
So until then, keep those engines running and join us next time for another chapter in Rob Peterson's journey beyond the engine room.